Hi, everybody, and welcome to Digital Champions. I'm Charlene Shirk, your host, and Digital Champions is where we get the opportunity to speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And today we're going to speak with Eric Smith of Nerd Vision. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine. So I guess tell us more about Nerd Vision. What does Nerd Vision look like?
Yeah, well, no, great. Thanks for having us. Nerd Vision is a digital media agency. I would say we're a startup, but if you make it through COVID, I don't think you can call yourself a startup anymore. But we focus on really just connecting clients with the digital environment and helping advertisers reach their audiences in this new crazy world that is, digital media.
Now talk a little bit about the Nerd Vision, because sometimes people think all the data and the analytics and all the behind the back of the house things, that's kind of nerdy and geeky. But I don't know. I mean, you're a marketer. I'm sure that's the part that's the most exciting, right?
Yeah, that's a great point, and I think the name itself really came together for exactly that reason. We take that nerdy, geeky part of data and analytics that clients really don't want to think about, and then we tie that together with digital strategy and help bring it all together so that they understand that the media they're putting into place, what they're getting out of it, is they're driving their business forward, and if so, how and why. Things are working the way that they are.
And so is that the problem that they're coming to you with, that things are just not working for them? Because so many people, before they call in a professional, they think, I own a business, so I must be able to do all of this at the same time too. And usually by the time they come to you, they've kind of, I don't want to say anything bad, but sometimes they make a mess of things.
That's absolutely true. And I think that generally what we do is we work with sort of larger national and international clients, and really what they come to us for is our expertise in the digital media space. Because as you know, talking to people really every day about this subject, things change so quickly and you can't keep up with everything. And so what we try and do is provide them with that depth of knowledge in the digital space so they feel comfortable that the media that they're putting into market is up to snuff with the rest of their competitors.
And they need to be, because I'm looking on your site, you've worked with IBM, you've worked with MasterCard, Squarespace, The RealReal, but the one I really want to ask you about is Cake Boss. So let's talk about how you work with Cake Boss.
Yeah, it's really about helping, whether it's Cake Boss or, we work with Amazon and some of their new streaming services as well. It's about getting their message out to the right audiences. And that's really what we do for Cake Boss, or we work with Amazon. We work with a lot of financial clients, and it really doesn't matter. It's about helping the clients reach the right audiences that are going to embrace their services, that are going to be interested in their products, tune in the case of Cake Boss, and look at all those delicious recipes and hear about all the drama that's going on.
All the drama. Well, when I asked you about when clients come to you and they made a mess of things, you had to look like, I could tell you some stories, but we don't have the time. And so finding your audience is also determining what platform they're on, because different audiences are on different platforms. So, with the industry consistently changing, and you just made it through COVID, where do you see the next 2 years in the digital space going for clients?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. And, a lot of our clients right now are concerned about what's going on with Google. They're concerned about what's going on with Facebook, as really the two major platforms right now. And, there's a lot of talk about cookies going away. And for those that don't know, cookies are those little pieces of technology that live on your computer and track all of your data. And so when you talk about Cake Boss, now you're going to see a whole bunch of ads about Cake Boss now showing up on your computer, because everything is listening to you now. And there's a lot of talk about that.
So Eric, you just called everybody out. Everybody suspected it, and you just called it out. They are listening.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely, they're listening, and your phone is listening I'll hold this up, but whenever you enable locations, whenever you enable voice activation, you're really giving media or digital platforms the ability to listen to you all the time, to follow your locations all the time, and then use and resell that data. And you may not like it, but that's what keeps the internet free. Your advertisers pay to use that data. But I think the other thing that we're seeing that's going to be really interesting in the next 2 years is platforms and devices like iPhone, like Apple saying, we're actually not going to pass your data through any longer. You're not going to be able to get advertisers are not going to be able to track you the way that they used to. And that's really going to put digital advertising potentially back to where it was when I started, which is, hey, we served a bunch of impressions and we don't know what happened after that because we can't tell you anything more. So it's going to be very interesting to see, do devices like Apple and Samsung take control and push out all of these channels like Google, like Facebook, and what is that going to do to the industry long term?
Well, Eric, thanks so much for joining us today. You're a wealth of knowledge and you are a lot of fun. And folks need to check you out on Nerd Vision because you're anything but.
Great.
Thanks so much for joining us, Eric.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Oh, and he confirmed it, folks. They are listening in on you. So if you'd like to learn more about Nerd Vision, go to dailyadbrief.com. And that's going to do it for us today on Digital Champions. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk. Have a great one.